Hello. Hi, I'm Hannah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to participate tonight. I was asked to briefly share about service. So I'd like to begin with growing up in an alcoholic home. There were severe punishments for mistakes. And it didn't matter if I was taught what I was supposed to do or what. So I was very much like, I am not doing any service. I'm not doing any service. I'm too afraid of making a mistake, and then I'll get severely punished, maybe kicked out of Al-Anon, and I could not deal with that. This was a lifeline for me. So I was very much not willing to do any service. I think it took me 2 years to put my name on a phone list. And I really did not want people calling me. That was like so scary. So, because of growing up in that environment, mistakes were not allowed. Actions didn't match words. And words didn't mean anything one day, and they meant something another day, and the rules changed. So, you didn't know if you were going to get punished or not. So, and then I kept hearing people say, oh, Al-Anon's a safe place to do service. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to make a mistake. And I was like, holy watch out, Batman, it's a trap. I don't believe those people at all. No, I've heard this before. I'm not doing. So it took a long time. I really needed to get some recovery before I could really think about doing service. So my first service position was treasurer of my home group. My sponsor was giving up that position and encouraged me to take over that position. And I did take it on, and I actually made a huge mistake being the treasurer, where our funds went into the negative. And so I was at a business meeting, and I made amends to my group. And I was not punished, I wasn't rejected, I wasn't shamed. And they let me stay on as treasurer and entrusted me. So, that was like my first experience of, oh my gosh, I was forgiven, or it was okay to make a mistake. And then I started to trust, oh, maybe they're telling the truth. Maybe it is okay to make mistakes in service. So, and in this time, I'm getting more recovery, and then I start to learn how to have fun in the program. And then I wanted to share that. So that led to my most impactful service position that I've had thus far, which was the fundraising chairperson for three years. And my motive in wanting to do that position is I had all these ideas in my head that I wanted to do that were fun, and it was a big fear. So I wanted to kind of face down that fear and share fun with the people who taught me how to have fun again in my life. So not only was it a fun experience, it provided me with some really impactful growth opportunities. I think one of the things that came up right away was my character defect of indecisiveness. And being the fundraising chairperson and being in charge of an event, people were asking me to be in charge. If you remember Mary Jo Sanchez, she had passed last year, and she was helping out at the rummage sale, and she's asking me what to do, and I'm like, oh, whatever, you can do what you want. She goes, you are the leader, make a decision and direct us. mean, it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. And she was telling me, delegate, delegate. And so, I was like, oh my gosh, people want me to direct them, So that was a real help. And then another fundraising event, my sponsor had observed me. I didn't know that she was doing this, but she had said to me later, she goes, next time you need to ask for more help. And that was another character defect. I didn't ask for help. I wasn't used to asking for help. I should be able to do everything myself. And the thing is, what I learned in that position is that people actually wanted to help. That was not the way I grew up. So that was a wonderful gift. There were a couple times where I got to experience the difficult challenge of double-headed management. And, and that can be really, talk about our conflict resolution tools that we have in the program. But, keeping that in mind, and I did face a difficult growth opportunity where I really had to set a strong boundary as the chairperson and as a trusted servant to preserve the primary purpose of the service position and for those that I served, because my title was the fundraising chairperson for Intergroup when it was before AIS. So there was some controversy about individuals wanting to fundraise for themselves within an intergroup fundraiser, or there were other service arms that wanted to fundraise in an intergroup fundraiser. So, thank God for program and knowing about the traditions and the concepts to be able to be a trusted servant in a healthy way. And within those conflicts, I said, this is the way I'm choosing to do it as the chairperson. If you take over the position after me, you can do it a different way, how you want to. But for my position during this time, I'm choosing not to allow individuals to fundraise within Intergroup or other service arms to fundraise within Intergroup. So anyway, besides those growth opportunities, my fellowship, my recovery expanded like crazy. So the gift of service, I met so many people, and I got to grow my Al-Anon family, which grew my support system in this program, and then also grew my recovery. It also brought me closer to my higher power. I got the gift of giving back and to have a ton of fun with everybody. And by planning these big events, I didn't realize till years later that last year when I got married, because of my service as a fundraising chairperson, I had an easy time planning my wedding. I was like, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I've done this before. So I didn't need a wedding planner. My husband was on board, and it was actually pretty stress-free, surprisingly. So anyway, I had denied service positions in the past because of fear that I mentioned earlier, fear of making a mistake. And when I consider a service position now, I always have to check my motives. Am I doing it out of obligation? Am I doing it because I think I should? Am I doing it because, whatever, recognition, ego? So it has to be a healthy motive. And I have to pray for wisdom, because sometimes I do turn down service positions, not because of fear or anything like that, but now it's because, does it do I have the time and energy to do it without exhausting myself? You know, can I do it and have enough energy for everyone else and for me, and be a good trusted servant in that way? So, and maybe I need to reason it out with my sponsor and so forth. So I will close with, currently I am holding several positions related to Al-Anon, but I'm also holding service positions that are not Al-Anon related. And this kind of brings me to the 12th step, which talks about practicing these principles in all our affairs. And I do service also in all of my affairs. So Al-Anon is very important to me, and also my job, my livelihood is important to me, so I participate in work committees and projects, and also my environment and where I live is important to me. So I have been a member of my homeowners association board, which if you would have told me that I would do that, I would have just written you off as just crazy. There is no way. But I am part of that because my neighborhood is important to me. So, and this is growth because you've all been a safe place for me, but that now I'm into people who are not program people. So this is, you know, this is growth, more growth opportunity. And I'll just say that, you know, I'm grateful for all of the service, all of the growth. And the big takeaway is, you do service in Al-Anon, maybe you can be a part of your homeowners association board. Anyway, that's all I have tonight. Thanks.
Do we have a